Ridiculous questions.
Meticulously debated.
This is Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Well, I was happy just last night. I've been losing sight, sighting all the falling fights. What is this if this ain't right? Back again, the monster rights. Losing life until that night. Life never let him lie. Light is mine, my past is right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. I am Ryan, and I'm going to be moderating this week's episode.
I'm Josh, and I'll be a debater.
And I am Joseph.
So while we were doing our intro, I just had the thought. So we started doing this thing where we count off to make sure that all our recordings are timed up, and I noticed that Josh always goes first, and then it's followed by me, and then Joe. Do we think that Josh chose that order because he feels like that is the ranking of the show?
Yes, absolutely. I'll speak for myself. 100% is the ranking of the show. It is. I'm in first and fourth. Ryan's in second and fifth, and Joe comes in at third and sixth. So
he can think whatever he wants for the ranking of the show. We all know that's the only time he's ever going to be in first place.
See, I don't look at the scoreboard. You know, you might say scoreboard. I know I'm behind, but it's really like the value that I bring to the show. Like I'm the glue guy that holds it all together, because without me, it falls apart.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
A loser. That's what a loser says.
Well, no.
Yeah,
here's the thing.
That's what a loser says.
In wrestling, no. Joe and I are wrestling fans. In wrestling, you have to have jobbers, people who are good wrestlers, but just never seem to win. They're merely there to make the actual wrestlers. They want to be big, look great. That's what I do here. I'm trying to build you all up by losing.
And anybody who listens to this show would not really believe that Josh believes he's a jobber, because he will fight tooth and nail with every decision to believe that he is the winner. Maybe that's just part of your MO.
That's because I've literally won every debate that I've ever participated in on this show.
I will like to say, before we move forward on anything else, and listeners at home, you can't see this, but Josh is wearing one of our wonderful T-shirts today. So my wife got a tank top. We actually saw Ryan on the bike trail the other night. She was wearing a nice Tell Me I'm Wrong tank top. So don't forget to go check out our store and get some awesome merch to support the show. Some great stuff on there.
Are y'all riding bikes together?
Oh, yeah. Me, Sloan, and Rachel. We got the little seat on the back thing.
What was Ryan doing on the bike trail? I can't imagine he was riding a bike.
He was walking.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We were walking with my dog.
And his wife, I saw her. She does exist.
She's real?
She's real. Well, is
this our first confirmation?
I mean, there was a woman with him.
And she was pregnant.
I can't confirm nor deny that was his actual. I didn't see a wedding certificate, but she seemed to be very familiar.
You know, I do think it's weird that Ryan's wife we found out she was pregnant right around the time Tenet was in theaters.
I've not watched that movie yet, but it definitely seems like something you'd have to kill some time in.
I haven't watched it either.
I mean, I love Christopher Nolan movies like Inception, Batman. Those are amazing movies, but they are long, and I have ADD. So,
and this one also, Tenet also seemed like one of those ones where it didn't really have a plot. It was just like the concept of the movie was the whole plot.
The best part is for the first month, he thought it was about a renter and renter situation.
Yeah, he had a whole script worked up with like a slumlord.
Yeah, he was just like, when did we get to the duplex that's being rented?
All right, well, I guess we could venture into this week's topic.
Slumlords.
And at least, yes. So pitch me your, we could probably, you give us any sort of even semi-related topic and we'll find something. But no, not this week. So recently in the news, there has been some chatter about alien knowledge.
Welcome to Earth.
That the government has had. Yes. The best line from the best alien movie ever made.
I don't know. Aliens is pretty good.
Not better than Independence Day, because it has Randy Quaid. That's all you need.
Aliens is pretty good.
But I don't like scary movies.
Aliens or Alien?
I'm sorry, Alien. I forget there's like 47 of them now.
I mean, Aliens is also
Aliens is
fine,
good too. But Sigourney Weaver,
but Alien,
Bill Paxton. Who else? There's a lot of people in that movie. Is it Mark? Not Mark Chestnut. That's a singer.
Yeah, famous country singer Mark Chestnut was in Alien. How many times did you watch Alien, Joe?
There's a lot. I don't know, man. The problem is there's so many of those that they literally all run together. So it's one of those you'll catch on like AMC and you'll start watching a point of it, and you're like, okay, I'm watching Alien. And then you realize 45 minutes into it, it's Alien 3, and you've never seen it before, and you kept waiting for this character to come on that died 2 movies ago.
Yeah.
Well, so this topic actually, I think, is this our first time that we've actually pulled a topic straight from Reddit?
I don't know. Ryan, you send a lot of ones from Reddit.
Yeah, you send a lot of the Reddit threads.
We need as many topics as we can get, so I try to. I mean, I'm not complaining,
but you asked about a specific one, and I just can't remember because there's a lot that are sent.
So this one, I think it wasn't. It's not directly, but it was very much pulled from the Ask Reddit subreddit. So it was actually someone that pitched the best person for this, and we'll talk about that. But the idea is there are aliens coming to Earth, and we have to send a representative. Now, we can only send those that we know, so there might be some worldwide people that we don't know about that would be great, but we're going to work with people we know. So it'll probably end up being, Joe will probably pick like Tim Allen, and Josh will probably pick like Morrissey, and it'll go great. So we decided we needed to change it a little bit, and the best person has already been picked, so we can't do that topic. We need to spin it with our classic twist on any topic. So we wanted to pick someone who they think would be really good to represent humanity to themselves, but to the rest of the world, it's going to be the worst.
I think I was when you came up with this spin, and I think that the first person that popped in my head, and this is not a political thing at all, was Donald Trump. Just because he thinks he has the ability
He's a very good example.
To meet with anybody out there. Like, he thinks he can build up a repertoire, a rapport with any person out there.
Repertoire, yes.
Yeah, whatever. A rapport. So, but in all honesty, that would be a train wreck. So that was my thought process in this. Now, let us not forget the movie Mars Attacks, where this actually already happened. We stole this idea, apparently, because this is all coming back to me now.
Well, this is a double stolen idea then, because we also stole it from Reddit. So
yeah, this is our last episode, listeners. So thank you for being a part of this. We're going to get shut down after this, but no, hopefully the outcome is better than that, because I believe the person that went to talk to the aliens, which I think was Leslie Nielsen, which would also be a good candidate, they immediately killed when we walked up and spoke to them. So, we may take someone that you love in this world and mow them down because of this, but we'll try.
Yeah, so we don't really know where this episode's going to go, but I'm excited for where it's going to take us. So let's start off with Mr. Joe Robinson. Give me your representative and just some quick thoughts.
Okay, so I started trying to think of like someone who would think they're good but not be good, but could kind of be good, maybe, was my thought process. And then I'd struggle with, it has to be a real person or a fake person. I ultimately landed on a made up individual, but I decided the best person who would be the worst person because they think they'd be the best person to go and talk to the aliens would be none other than Mr. Tony Stark, the Iron Man.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting choice.
He's already done it. So
yeah.
And we saw where that got us. Half the people in the universe got snapped away. Thanks, Thanos.
That's a good point.
Too soon, Joe. Too soon.
Now, it's become very clear that aliens are a real thing. The government basically, told us so much recently. So in this real world example, is Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark speaking to the aliens?
I think it has to be that Robert Downey Jr. didn't know they were recording a movie, and they just went and took cameras to his house, and he thought it was like a reality show, and we got Iron Man.
Okay. I actually just saw a quote from Stan Lee that basically confirmed that when he thought of Tony Stark and he thought of Iron Man, he was like, pretty much it's just Robert Downey Jr. Like, this is how I pictured him looking and acting. Like, I don't feel like there's been a better casting in recent history.
I listened to a podcast that talked about Stan Lee, and he basically said, I kind of pictured Iron Man as like a rehab person, like a drug addict, and Tony Stark Robert Downey Jr. was the first person that came to my mind, and I was like, ouch.
Yikes.
True, but
damn.
Ouch.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have said that on a podcast. Oh wait, we just did.
Oh no, this is what Stan Lee said.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that tracks with Stan Lee. Listen, you can't not
that
love
man's
Stan
not
Lee.
afraid to say anything. He has enough money and power in Hollywood. He can do whatever the heck he wants.
Well, he's also dead.
Well, yeah.
So.
This was when he was alive. He didn't speak from the grave.
Rip to a real one.
All right. So we have Tony Stark. aka Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, which I really appreciate. It's an interesting pick, and I'm excited to see the points that Joe has. Josh,
Me too.
what you got?
Now, when I started thinking about this one, I took a little bit of a different approach. I very much wanted to
Is
say
that
a real life
surprising to
person.
anybody?
He
Now,
always takes the different approach.
look, it's my MO, but
You asked
mine
for a
is
person,
based
I
much
decided to
more
say
in
Kermit the
reality.
Frog.
I mean, that's basically what you did, Joe. So here's the thing. When the aliens come to Earth, if you've ever seen the movie Arrival, one of my favorite movies, I'd say...
I was hoping Arrival would come up. Wait, we need to talk about Arrival for a second. Okay, so Arrival. This might not be a funny segment, so if you guys want to skip ahead a minute or two, that's fine.
Don't skip. Listen to it. Listen to every second of this.
Arrival is fascinating because I actually think it is the most realistic of like what an actual alien interaction would be like, because they're so different. We literally can't even understand, like, is this a being? Like, what is this structure? Like, they don't understand anything about it. And so that is because all these other alien movies are like, okay, here's a green guy and he looks kind of like a human and he talks like we like. If it's from this distant place where everything is different, it's not gonna be like, oh, we speak English and we can understand your customs. Like, I love Arrival because
and we also assume that like aliens are just all knowing beings, but like eventually, like I would assume that maybe someday we pull off Earth folks pull off the ability to go to distant galaxies in very fast periods of time. I am not going to believe that we've learned every language in the universe when we arrive. We're idiots. Like the fact that we made it to the moon, apparently.
Whoa.
Buzz Aldrin did say that photo was staged. He didn't say it was fake, but he said it was staged.
Oh, well, we actually uncovered something Joe does believe in. So anyways, point being is that like we would not know everything. So the aliens in theory would not. And so that's what makes Arrival so compelling. It also is what makes it so horrifying because there's nothing particularly scary about Arrival other than just the like tension of the arrival. So when it comes to that, here's the thing too, is I was thinking about this. People would be freaked out. So they're not going to be thinking straight. Now, in my past, growing up, I have mentioned that I deal with anxiety on this podcast before. You would think, oh, maybe you developed that in high school or something. No, very much as a child, because I myself would watch TLC, their End of the World stuff, the History Channel, Ancient Alien stuff, and get freaked out. I would be tripping out just thinking about aliens arriving, and it stressed me out.
So as a kid,
how
in like
old are
elementary
you?
school, you're like sitting in
5 to 12.
5th grade, and you're worried about an alien coming and abducting you.
Well, like I would watch the show and then like be freaked out. I would watch shows about meteors hitting the earth and think that was going to happen. I went to a private Christian school. They were talking about the rapture all the time when the Left Behind books came out. Anytime we had a harvest moon, I thought the world was ending. And I thought this was normal until years later when I was nearing the age of 30 and I started going to a therapist, and I told him this, and he took out his notepad and said, "Interesting."
You were just talking, and you didn't
I was
realize
just
that,
talking,
and that was going to be the topic of the week at the therapy session.
Two things came to my mind when he said that. If y'all ever listen, like on Saturday nights late on a local station here in Lexington, News Radio 630, after 11, they have like this call-in show that's about aliens and stuff.
I did not know this.
So I've caught this coming home from like UK football games. Like the post game show will go off, and then it just leads into this show in the middle of it. And this guy's like, "Yeah, this alien came and picked me up one day. They didn't do any anal probes, but they stuck stuff up my nose, and like they are all as serious as a heart attack. Like that. This is what's happening. It's you check it out. I firmly say definitely do it. I'm gonna try to look up the name of the show.
So that ultimately was where I was coming from. And as I got older, that manifested less into anxiety and more into just an enjoyment of all things sci-fi. So here's the thing. I think as a country, as a world, we would want to send somebody charismatic. We would want to send somebody popular, especially Americans. If the aliens arrive in the United States, we're going to send somebody that we think they are going to like, because we think the USA is the center of the entire universe and that everybody knows all of our stuff. And so I think they're going to pick somebody that they're like, A, big star, B, charismatic, C, experience with aliens. And so that is
Jack
why
Black.
we are going to send Will Smith.
Okay. I was hoping that somebody would go this direction.
This is the laziest pick I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think Josh ever approaches this show with a lazy attitude. And so I feel like he's going to pull out some reasons for picking Will Smith that are going to be off the chart that we're not even thinking about. And I have faith. We're gonna ride this out. But right now, I have to say, two very different directions. So depending on who's gonna defend themselves well, this could go any way.
I did find the name of that show. It's called Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, and the dude, as you could guess, just like Jesse the Body Ventura, the resident alien expert, has a giant mustache and approximately looks like he's about 5'4" tall. So the other thing is, I do agree. I think Will Smith would be a good ambassador possibly to the aliens, because the first time he saw an alien, he punched him, and that's how most business meetings are held nowadays. But the one thing I question the most about that movie is why we thought it was a good idea, in order to communicate with the aliens, to send a helicopter facing what we thought was the front of the alien ship, and then just flash a bunch of brightly different colored lights at him. And we thought that was the best way to communicate with them. Like, every time I watch that, I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They were still trying to figure out communication amongst people. So I feel like it was a very misguided attempt.
Dumb. They deserve to get shot.
Who's the guy who's the president in that movie?
Bill Pullman. We will not go quietly into the night.
Yes.
What is it?
I love that
is
speech.
Independence Day. That's a great speech.
It's a great speech. All right, so we have Tony Stark. We have Will Smith. So with Tony Stark's past experience, he's worked with a lot of different aliens, actually.
Let me narrow my search for you. I picked Iron Man Tony Stark from Iron Man 1 and 2.
Okay.
So he has not gotten experience working with aliens yet. This is just douchebag Tony Stark. This is pre-alien. This is douchebag Tony Stark.
Seems like a misstep, but all right.
No.
Okay.
He said the person who would think they're great would be terrible.
Okay. So he's got the confidence. Okay. So this alien race, that I'm going to set up the situation, because I feel like a lot of these movies, I'm going to go more the Arrival route. We, as a people, see this new thing coming, and it's not hostile. It doesn't hurt anyone. Yeah. It's just this column, kind of like I'm just going off Arrival. It's this giant thing, and nobody knows what it is or how it got there. And then these things come out, and they just like stand outside, and we have to send in somebody to parlay with these new beings. So you guys have chosen your people. So I need some characteristics. When you were thinking about it, when Will Smith came to your mind, you were like, okay, these are the reasons why we picked him. And then same thing for Tony Stark. I know you mentioned you want somebody who's charismatic, but give me some specifics about Will Smith, his acting experience, his directing experience, his just Big Willie style. Does that come into play?
So the reason I think we as a world would pick Will Smith is because he is, universally known. So if we go to YouGov.com, where you typically get political polling, they also do polling on celebrities. And so Will Smith has a 97% name ID.
Wow. That's a number.
So everybody knows him. And because he has such a high name ID, he's the type of person that everybody's going to be like, yeah, Will Smith, he's cool. On top of that, he has a 76% approval rating. positive opinion of Will Smith to only 7% of a negative opinion and 15% neutral. So that's bipartisanship right there. People of all subsets love Will Smith. Now, when you compare him to other actors as far as popularity goes, he is number 6 of all actors and actresses or entertainers in the world. Morgan Freeman is number 1, shockingly.
This might be outdated.
No, it is updated as of Q1 2021. So clearly people aren't paying attention to the news. He kind of slid by there. Number 2 is Robin Williams. Unfortunately, no longer with us. Would have been a fantastic pick.
Oh, man.
Mork and Mindy, entertaining.
If you could pick anybody living or dead, I mean,
if there's someone who I think could win over the aliens and get them to laugh, it is Robin Williams. He would figure it out.
100%.
Third, Sean Connery. I don't know why.
What is this list?
Yeah, this is a bad list.
Isn't Sean Connery dead too?
This is actually public polling.
Sean Connery's not dead.
I think
Sean Connery is dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Sean Connery died?
This is breaking news for Ryan's story right now. Sean Connery.
Oh, did he die like last year? It was recent.
Yeah.
I'm now remembering.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. So then right there, neck and neck with Will Smith, you have Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson, both of who I don't think would be the best picks.
Man, that sandwich of people is incredible.
Now, the reason I think people are going to end up picking Will Smith is because of his popularity, because of his approval rating, because of what everybody thinks about him, but also because they're going to look at his film history and go, this man has a lot of experience with alien related things, and that's going to like win over the aliens, you know?
And can you say range?
Yeah. And it's not even just aliens, it's sci-fi in general. I mean, Independence Day, we already mentioned it. Men in Black, several of those films.
iRobot.
Even iRobot, After Earth, Wild Wild West, like just the Independence Day sequel. Like there's just a lot of
I like that you
films
snuck
that he's been
Wild Wild West in the list with all the other sci-fi movies that involved robots or aliens.
It's a sci-fi movie.
It's definitely a sci-fi movie.
He has machines in it.
It's a steampunk movie.
I'd give you that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's got machines. It's sci-fi.
Steampunk is sci-fi.
Okay.
So anyways, he's been in a number of sci-fi films, a number of alien films. He has been a action hero throughout his career after Fresh Prince. And so I think people are going to build it up in their head like, yeah, this would be great. He's been in alien movies. I'm sure the aliens are aware of this. But here's the thing. They probably aren't. And if they are, what a terrible pick. He has never been good to the aliens. Like it's always been bad. That would be like sending like, I don't know, your full-grown hunting dog out to greet like some foreign birds that landed in your backyard. Like they know what he's about.
Or sending Dog the Bounty Hunter to greet your new immigrant neighbors.
Yeah.
That's so quite an example there.
So really what I'm saying is that people, for all the wrong reasons, would settle on Will Smith as being a great ambassador to include in our delegation.
I like the way that you spun that because it's not that we doubt. It's really not that we even doubt Will Smith. It's really just the most human choice.
Yes.
We're choosing him because we have this image of what it's going to look like, and then it's not going to be like that. Okay.
Exactly.
I like that direction. Okay. I need the same thing from Joe. Give me your characteristics and then, the fatal flaw.
So the reason why I think Tony Stark and/or Iron Man would be a good choice for a good, bad ambassador for aliens is by the point that we get to Iron Man 2, he's a superhero that has outed himself. He went in a press conference after the first one and said, I am the Iron Man. And it was all like, Ozzy Osbourne was playing. It was awesome. But he is known by the people and he's not afraid to make himself known, like to put himself out there. You think of someone like Batman who never covered his chin ever, but people still couldn't figure out who it was. Superman wore glasses, and people are like, "Oh my god,
do you recognize a lot
who's
of people
this
by
guy
their chins?
with a chin like Ben Affleck and Christian Bale's?" It's hard to miss. I mean, that's all chin. Their face is chin. So
it's a shame we never got Jay Leno as Batman. That would have been so bad.
That's true. Jay Leno as Batman would be something like, "I got you. I'm the alien." Okay, so anyways.
I'm the alien, the bad guy. Yeah.
I'm not going to do a Jay Leno impression. I'll save everyone.
I think people trust, they know Tony Stark is a protector of the world. He's proved that. It's not just necessarily an American thing. He fought in Monaco. He fought in the Middle East. He fought on American soil. He's willing to go anywhere and everywhere and protect the world. So people are going to identify that. They're going to feel safe because they think if anything goes wrong, Tony Stark can protect him. He's also incredibly intelligent. I mean, his dad and then him built and grew Stark Industries, and they basically make everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's got the name Stark on it. I mean, you got Stark corn on the cob and Stark weapons and Stark toilet
They're
paper.
also farmers in this world.
I mean, they've got everything. So he's incredibly smart. And let's not forget what makes the world go around. He is incredibly rich. And people think you're rich, you have money, you are powerful, intelligent, and you're the right person for the job. Let's look at all our current politicians. They have money, so
That's also why they let Elon Musk host Saturday Night Live.
Yes, Josh really did not like that. This is the second or third mention of that. So
it was bad. I also just don't like him, so maybe it's just a personal grudge.
I didn't watch it. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in probably 5 years. So, but anyways, I think those are the reasons that we would pick him. He's smart. He's rich. He's a strong man. He's a protector. He's proved that he's willing to help out the common man. He's not just going to help you out for money. He had that radical change when he was kidnapped in the Middle East and he became a different person. So he does show compassion. He does show, but he also has like a confidence. He has an air of just, I'm not scared of you. I'll fight you. My weapons are better than you. I'm stronger than you. And he's got that cool suit. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to send him out there in that cool suit? But all of those things are also his downfall. He's so smart that I think he thinks he could outsmart the aliens when he knows nothing about the aliens. He would come up with, he'd throw money at a brand new suit that he think would take him out and protect him. Once again, we know nothing about alien suits. We know nothing about alien weapons. We know nothing about alien defenses. And his overall personality, which a lot of people gravitate to, it's funny, he's kind of a douche, but it's funny because it's not towards us. I doubt that if an alien visits this Earth for the first time and they walk up and he makes some wisecrack about their big head and how they don't have any money and they parked in the wrong spot, that's not going to go over well. So all the things that we think would make him this perfect choice to be an alien ambassador and what he thinks would make him the perfect choice to be an alien ambassador would ultimately be his undoing in that situation. So he's the perfect fit and the absolute worst fit simultaneously.
All right. So we've chosen our representative. And let's just go with the American lore. They landed in New Mexico. So we've got to get Tony Stark and Will Smith out to New Mexico in these separate worlds. So I mean, I feel like I can just picture Tony Stark pulling up, but I need you both to paint me a picture. So we're going to start with Tony Stark, Mr. Iron Man himself. I want you to tell me what is his first impression? How is he pulling up? What's he wearing? You know, which suit is it, or is it a new suit? You know, what's the vibe as he's pulling up and trying to represent the humans?
So I'm going to assume that they have this pre-set up meeting with this individual, with the time and the location set up, and so he has to come here. Am I okay in that assumption?
Yes, this is a predetermined meeting.
So what's going to happen with this is he's got his meeting set up. The army's all back. We obviously have guns pointed at the aliens because, you know, why not? But there's a really far perimeter set up. The news vans cut over and you see the alien ship, and all of a sudden you see a dust cloud coming as they drive through the New Mexico desert. The news cameras cut over, and there it is. Tony Stark's Audi TT, the brand new one, cutting through the desert at an incredible breakneck speed. It's silver, it's chrome, it's shiny, it looks amazing. It pulls up, parks, opens up the door, the cameras zoom in, no one's there. Driven by Jarvis. What's going on? And all of a sudden, boom, Tony Stark lands in his brand new Iron Man suit. Mark69Nice. He comes up, he like sizes up the alien, makes some little snide comment like, I thought it'd be bigger. Taps the center button, his suit like disintegrates or whatever, and the nanotechnology or whatever new terminology he's made up that week, and he's got on this brand new who's the famous suit guy?
Tom Ford.
Brand new Tom Ford cut suit. His hair's all done up. He's got sunglasses he gets, and he goes and he grabs a suitcase out of the back of his Audi, opens it up, out comes 2 champagne glasses, a perfectly cooled bottle of champagne, and he pours a glass and walks up to the alien, and that's when he starts his meeting. So that's Tony Stark's entrance.
That is wonderful. You painted such a beautiful picture. I can
like
picture
to
all that happening.
paint word pictures when I do this, so
I appreciate it. All right, we have the Tony Stark unveiling. Will Smith.
Okay, so I'm going to once again take a slightly different approach because I'm really viewing this through. Joe seems to be viewing this through a lens of aliens are things from movies, so we're sending a movie character. Josh is viewing this through the lens of aliens are 100% real and they are coming soon. And so what I think we would actually do in the real world is we would send a large delegation. It's going to be Joe Biden. Probably, depending on where they land, let's say New Mexico we went with. I think you're going to have like the leaders of Canada. So you got Trudeau, you got Mexico, you got the United States. We're going to bring in some of the, allies from Europe. Putin probably joins. I mean, you get some of the biggest leaders in the world. You bring them here, and then you're going to have a delegation of very well-known worldwide celebrities. So you're gonna have Tom Hanks. You're gonna have Will Smith. You're gonna have
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. Sure, Kim Kardashian. I don't know. They'll work it out. Probably Robert Downey Jr., like the real one, to be quite honest. And so you're probably gonna have a delegation of that. You're gonna have military personnel, the United States military, because they landed in New Mexico, surrounding the area. And I think the thing is we've probably, if it's like a rival. We've figured out how to communicate to them. We've said, hey, come join us for a meeting. We want to peacefully work this out and show our world is horrified right now. This has never happened. We're terrified. I'm sure in your world, you've had aliens from another universe come and visit you at some point. Do you remember how terrifying that was? We work it all out. And then we're going to bring them into like a warehouse in Area 51. And we're going to hopefully not see the dead alien bodies that have been hiding there. And they're going to line them up in front of cameras and try to show the world like, hey, it's all good. We worked this out. Now, is this part of the aliens' plan? Probably. But who knows? We'll find out. And then they're going to have the delegation arrive. They're going to arrive in the most futuristic things that we can show off. They're going to fly in on military like jets that are so stealthy that they can see. Elon Musk is absolutely there. Will Smith's going to arrive in like a Tesla because we think that's going to like impress the aliens, and all this stuff. Like we're just trying to impress the aliens. Everybody's dressed up in suits. No one's coming casual. The government's like, hey, we got to like put our best foot forward here, as if like aliens don't like just chill in whatever their version of business cash is, like they're not getting dressed up.
Alien
for this.
business cash. What would that look like?
Jinkos. So
Jinkos, a Gap Henley.
Yeah. So they bring the aliens in, their delegation. They greet our delegation. I think the first person they have greet them is Will Smith, because we're like, this is our guy. He's known by everybody here. He's got to be known by everybody in other universes. Surely his movie somehow made it to wherever they're from. And he's gonna.
We've for sure beamed out some Will Smith.
For sure.
Media.
They sent them to the spaceship like Will Smith movies ahead of time to try to like, if they didn't know, like now they know. And so they're gonna have the celebrities greet them first.
It onto Canada, like they're projecting movies onto so they can see it from space.
Yeah. So then they're gonna have a line. They're gonna greet everybody, and they're gonna let Will Smith kind of, talk to the crowd, kind of engender some like friendliness with the aliens, and try to make sure people know everything's under control.
Okay. I like both of these. I mean, you said you went with a realistic route, but I also can still picture that as a movie. So I appreciate the thematics that you guys have given us. Okay. I'm going to go to the office real quick and do some announcements. We'll come back and we're going to talk about the briefing before the actual summit happens. All right, everybody, we're going to take a break from this crazy alien talk and just to give you some announcements. So thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure you keep continuing to tell your friends and give them your favorite episodes, whether it's this one or one super old one. Maybe you really liked our 1 year just kind of chit chat stuff. The best way to grow any podcast has been and always will be word of mouth, because it is so hard for us to get in front of new people. The best asset that we have is you. While we're on that topic, if you want to wear some of our merch, you can go to tmiwpod.com and check out our merch store. Josh is wearing a very handsome Later Losers shirt that you can purchase. We also have our new logo available, and now Josh is doing a little bit of a dance in the office. But we also have our new logo merch available. So please go check that out. And if you're not already following us on all the social medias, we are TMIW Pod. We have not been super active lately, but we're trying to work on that. I've all been a little bit busy. One thing I did want to mention, a little bit random. I know the Apple podcast app has been updated and everyone hates it now. So there are some other options out there. We've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. There is an app called Good Pods, and it is a great intuitive app where you can actually see what your friends are listening to. You can add shows and everything. It is now really growing in popularity. So I'll shout out that one again. You get as many people as you can on there, and it'll continue to improve for you because you can see what your friends are listening to. So that's about it. Make sure you check out the website TMIW Pod, and we'll get back to the debate. All right, so we have our two delegations. The one delegation is just Tony Stark being a badass. And then we also have the Will Smith delegation. Either way, I know that there is a meeting, whether Tony Stark listens to anything they say or Will Smith listens to anything they say. You know that they are meeting with somebody beforehand and they are getting a game plan. So I want to have a conversation. What does that look like before they are about to send one person to represent humanity in front of these new beings? What is the conversation? What is the prep time? What is Will Smith bringing to the table? What is Tony Stark bringing to the table? So let's start with Will Smith. We'll go back to Josh. So he's meeting with Biden. He's meeting with Merkel. He's meeting with Trudeau. All of the leaders of the world, and they're like, "All right, Will, you're our man."
Those three.
Yes. Those are just the three that came to mind.
I think obviously U.S. intelligence officials are in the room doing the majority of the briefing with all of the leaders that are there. They're telling them what they know about the aliens. They're telling them, the kind of preparations that they've made in case things go sideways. They're kind of filling them in on all those details. Then they're going to obviously coach these celebrities on what they want them to do. They want them to just be happy, be themselves, try to, get some goodwill with the aliens. So they're going to say like, hey, so we're going to bring him down the line. Will, we want you to be the last person that they shake hands with. And then it's going to be your job to win, along with likely Tom Hanks or somebody else that a lot of people like, to kind of start a conversation with the aliens and show the world on all the news cameras that are showing this happening that everything's fine. This is safe. We're learning about them. They bring new technology. This is going to be great for everybody, et cetera, et cetera. We need you to be the spokesperson for this. Because here's the thing. If it's one of the world leaders, they're much more divisive. Their approval rating's a lot lower. If you're a communications professional, you got to get the person who people trust the most to deliver the news. Whether that is an actor or whoever, it's always going to be better. That's why you see all the PSAs about vaccines, got celebrities and stuff. People like them more than they like, the president or whoever. So they're going to say, we need you to do this. Here's your script and stick to this and everything should be fine.
This is a peace-seeking initiative. They're trying to put the best foot forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when they took Dennis Rodman in North Korea,
Yep, best foot forward.
So, Josh, is this to make the aliens comfortable or to make the people of Earth comfortable?
That's a good question.
This is purely in their mind. Here's the thinking. We don't know what's going to make the aliens comfortable, but our best bet probably is the most worldwide celebrities that are popular. Because, you know, they probably don't know us from Adam, but if there's someone they might know, it's probably going to be one of them. Hell, we probably even brought like Michael Jordan or somebody.
You think the celebrities have TNT, TBS, and USA Network to watch Tom Hanks, Will Smith?
You said celebrities. I think you meant aliens.
Yeah. No. So the aliens likely don't know who any of these people are, but that's the thing that makes this all a bad choice, is that we're trying our best and we think they're going to bring something to the table, but they're probably not. Like, this probably was a bad idea even in the first place. Maybe we shouldn't be telling people this stuff. But the thing is that that's what they're going to think. People are flawed. People make bad decisions. People. I mean,
people make podcasts, so we know they make bad decisions.
People are just scrambling to do whatever we can to try to make everybody feel okay. So this is less for the aliens and honestly more for the people of the world.
Okay. Yeah. So this is, I think that's what Joe was getting at. Yeah. We're trying to make sure people understand that we got this under control, because Big Willie style's out there.
Big Willie style. He's got it. He's getting jiggy with it.
All right. Tony Stark is in the meeting. He's talking to the world leaders, and he's probably just completely ignoring everything they say. But what is the plan for Tony?
So I don't think Tony Stark's at the meeting. I don't think the world leaders ever intended for Tony Stark to do this. But being Tony Stark and having
so he just
power,
decided to do this.
He shows up at the meeting in his new Mark69Nice Iron Man suit. He lands and he convinces them to let him be the person that meets the alien. Hey, who better than Tony Stark? I've got money, I got fame, I got power, I'm Iron Man. I am. He steals all the technology from the government because you've seen him do it before in Iron Man 2. He takes his little phone and hooks up to the camera and goes, I need that, takes it and everything else. So Tony Stark is not the original choice. Tony Stark makes himself the choice.
Okay.
And the meaning after that is irrelevant because we all know he's not going to follow a script. He's got it.
So no script, but Tony in his mind, he's like, all right, I'm going to do this. What is Tony saying to himself?
Much like me, Tony feels most comfortable winging it. He could have this big script. He could have this big plan, this outline, this whatever you want to call it. You give him this, he's walking up, he's proton blasting it as he's walking up to the aliens, and he's just going, how's it going? Want some champagne? And he's just going off with quips, sarcastic comments. Like you said, he's making a comment that he thought their ship would be bigger than that, and then he laughs after it. So all the prep work that the government or whoever tried to put into it, the world leaders, Canada, USA, and I don't know who the last one Josh said, Elon Musk or Putin, whoever he said it was.
Same thing.
You know, that's all out the window.
It's all irrelevant.
He's telling them not to worry about it. He's basically, he's making him think his goal is to either make him their buddy or kind of make the aliens his bitch. He wants to scare them. If he needs to, he's not afraid to do that. He knows he can go either way. He could be their best friend or he can apply a little pressure and make sure that they know who's boss.
Okay. So two very different approaches. So I feel like I have at least one more question. So let's say the meeting starts and something happens that kind of makes it seem like the aliens are being hostile. Whether they're actually being hostile or not, maybe it was by accident. But somebody gets hurt or somebody gets killed. What is the approach going to be from Will Smith when hostility steps up a little bit and everybody's looking to him?
Now, I think in the American public's mind, at least the not as intelligent group, is that Will Smith's going to kick some ass. We've seen him in Independence Day. We've seen him in Men in Black. He's going to be like that training he's had for his movies is going to kick in. He's just going to start joining in the fight. So that's why he's a good choice. But obviously, Will Smith is dipping. He's getting out. First sign of trouble, my man's gone. With good reason, the military's there. That's their job. He's just a celebrity. They got him to do this. He agreed to it. He did not sign up for a fight. And so he is bailing. So he's useless.
He's not going in armed. He's
Nope.
not. He's like, all right, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to be super nice about it. And if anything goes wrong, I'm out.
Yep. And I think they intentionally did not arm anybody that's in the room because, like, what's Angela Merkel going to do with like a Uzi?
Also, we don't even know if guns will work against these things.
Exactly. So
who knows?
they're not arming anybody. The military's outside and probably some in the room, but like all the firepower is outside, Air Force circling around, all that good stuff. Nobody's
They're just
armed
going to
in the
drop
room.
a bomb on the place. If
I think
anything
the
goes wrong.
majority of the people in that room are bailing immediately.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Joe. I mean, I think I know the route, but maybe you're going to surprise us. Tony Stark, something happens and it gets a little hostile. Maybe they like blow up a car or something on accident. We don't know their intentions. Something happens and people are scared. What is Tony Stark on television in the Mark69Nice suit going to do?
So the first thing that happens, if something like that happens, Tony's looking back. He goes, Jarvis, find me a weakness. And Jarvis immediately starts scanning the alien technology to figure out the weakness that they may have that Tony can exploit. Secondly, Tony's hitting the button and morphing into his suit, but no helmet.
Yeah.
He wants
okay,
to be
okay.
prepared, but he wants them to show that he's still human. That's ready to kick ass if need be. So this is when Tony's charismatic enigma, not Jeff Hardy, but the charismatic enigma personality he has, he's going to come into play. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he calls him a name like Tex or Chief or something like that. And he's like, there's no reason to get all our proof who's got the biggest proton laser in the group because we all know who that is, right? Offers him another drink. He's going to try to disperse the tension, the anger, the vitriol that they may have for us with comedy first. But it's going to unfortunately be comedy at the aliens' expense. So if that's received well, then he knows he's got him. If not, boom, helmet comes down. Jarvis is looking for a weakness while simultaneously trying to steal the alien technology. And Tony's going to go to work as he's one small man target. He's hard to hit. He's got his photon lasers. He's developed some extra missiles for this Mark69Nice suit. And he's going to do what he needs to do to defend it, no matter if anybody wants him to do it or not, because he's proven he's not really going to ask permission.
Or forgiveness, really.
So he may call for Brody, his good friend, see if he can come help. What is it? War Machine? That's another Iron Man type thing. But in his mind, he can handle this on his own.
All right. Well, I think I have enough information to make my decision. Now, I really genuinely went back and forth during this debate. We got Will Smith, who is chosen for, some good intentioned reasons, but ultimately flawed because we're human and we, make stupid decisions. And then we have the fictional character of Tony Stark, who's chosen for very obvious reasons, or not even chosen, but decided that he was the best choice.
Bumped his way in.
Yeah, he just decided. So when it really came down to it, before I make my decision, I do have to mention I think we need to get some credits given to Joe for clearly he was a writer for one of the Iron Man movies, because those Iron Man lines that he's been dropping in this show have been wonderful. So we need to get Joe on the next Iron Man series, the revival. But when it came down to it, I actually am going to pick one for a reason that was not explicitly stated, and so the pick I'm going with is Will Smith. Yeah. And now here is why.
Boo.
Well, here's why. I actually think the Tony Stark, in the world that Tony Stark exists, there's probably not a better choice at the time. So I actually, because yes, he wouldn't be great at it because of his arrogance, I actually think he's a pretty good person to do, because he does have the suit and he is super intelligent, and he also kind of has a death wish. So I feel like he's just going to go in there. The Will Smith situation is probably what would happen. And I also feel like he's going to get vaporized right away because
For sure.
there's nothing about how we approach it is going to be good. Everything, and they're going to televise it, and it's going to actually make the situation way worse. But ultimately, I had to go with Will Smith.
See, I think your point is the best one, because I think if the aliens had ill will towards the people of Earth, there's no bigger way to strike fear into the hearts of everybody than vaporizing Will Smith on TV. It's like when Tom Hanks got COVID, and then everybody all of a sudden was like, cancel everything. Same thing.
That was a great analogy.
That's why Tom Hanks is there, too.
Just in case.
Just in case.
I would just like to point out that I put Tony Stark in our world. This was meant to be and done in our world, not in the world of Tony Stark. So,
but I think even in this world, and here's the thing, Joe, is I always get criticized for not arguing the actual debate, but creating my own debate and arguing it. And I believe that you may have done the same thing and talked yourself out of this.
How did I do that? Explain that to me, because I don't think that at all.
Well, you actually you kind of convinced me that there's not really many other people that I would want to do it. Like you actually did a good job convincing me that he would have been pretty good at it, because
by threatening them.
I don't know who else I would have wanted. But
making sarcastic
honestly, it was very close. It was very close, but I had to listen. There's Will Smith. How can you not want him to represent the whole human race?
Exactly.
I think that's going to do it for us. We are so grateful that you guys continue to listen. Please continue to also listen to Isle of 8 and their song Jean Jacket, which is our
That's how we should have communicated
song.
to the aliens. Just play Jean Jacket on a loop.
Blast Jean Jacket to the aliens and we will be fine.
They'd be like, people wear denim as a jacket?
Yes, because they're going to speak English like that.
All we want to take home to our home planet, Isle of 8. Well, they're not around anymore. Bring them to us.
You have returned from Earth. What did you bring us? Acid watched jackets.
Oh, that's the debate. What is the one item we think aliens would bring back from Earth to show the people of their home planets?
Ooh, our next alien debate.
Take this opportunity to go find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at TMIWPod. Also, remember to use that hashtag TMIWPod. If you think we missed somebody that would be a great alien ambassador who would be equally terrible, you can also use that hashtag to tell Ryan why he was wrong, because my debate was better. And
tell me I'm wrong.
Take the opportunity to go ahead right now. Stop what you're doing. It's not important unless you're driving, and then pull over and do this. But go ahead and find us on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, whatever you're using. Subscribe, rate and review us 5 stars. That helps get the podcast in front of new eyes. And then text a friend and tell them to listen to this podcast. If they're a fan of Will Smith, a fan of Tony Stark, and or a fan of podcasts, they probably will like this. So reach out to them, tell them how awesome we are, and tell Ryan he's wrong.
If you head over to TMIWpod.com, you can find all sorts of great ways to connect with us. You can send us a message. You can find our social media pages. You can buy some merch, which we've mentioned several times on this episode. I've got a great t-shirt on. It's very soft, very comfortable, very awesome. So head over there, grab that. Also, while you're on our website, you can check out, we sent Will Smith movies to the aliens. The aliens sent their movies to us. And let me tell you, people, nothing but pornography. So I wouldn't recommend it. It's actually shut our website down, so I'm not even sure that you can get there. But if you want to check that out, head over to TMIWpod.com and have a freaky time.
Also on our website, which we haven't mentioned in a while, some very handsome pictures of all 3 of us if you want to find out what we look like.
Unrelated to the alien pornography. I cannot stress this enough. Just pictures of us.
I don't know why you needed to say that. I just said it right after you said it.
I'm just saying it is unrelated. The pictures are just of us here on Earth enjoying our earthly
fully
being.
Clothed.
Fully clothed. Well, mostly clothed, at least from what you can see. Has nothing to do with the material the aliens sent us to put on the website.
It's right under the section where we have the really sexy horses. All right. Thanks, everybody. As always, there is one winner, but we're all losers. Later, losers.
See ya.
Getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. Mark69. Na 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 na. Nice.